Today's video, I'm going to be talking about Albert Fish. Albert Fish was born with the name Hamilton, and he was born in the 1880s. He had 3 siblings, but one passed away. And his parents were 40-something years apart, so his father was 70 by the time that Albert was born. When Albert's father died, his mom sent him to an orphanage because she couldn't take care of him. So when he was in the orphanage, he was beat by the staff, and he was also beat by other children. So when he was there, he started to think that pain and pleasure were the same thing. And there was a lot of mental illness in his family. Some of his family members had mania, and his mom would have visions. So when he got a little bit older, his mom got him out of the orphanage. He became friends with the boy that introduced him to drinking his own urine and eating his own feces. When he was older, like 28, his mom wanted him to get married. So he married a woman that was 10 years younger than him. And he would basically do stuff to her that would make her uncomfortable. And she was also cheating on him. So they would end up going their own separate ways. And they had kids together. He kept the kids. He never beat the kids. But he would have them join in on whooping him because he was into stuff like that. He liked to be whipped, and he would stick needles up his bum. He liked to do stuff like that. And he would like when the kids would whoop him with a paddle with needles on it. He would end up getting remarried, and the marriage didn't last long because she realized some weird things about him. Like he would play a game with her children where he would have to guess how many fingers they were holding up, and if they didn't guess it right, they would have to whoop him. So the marriage didn't last long. His family would say he got to the point where he would say stuff like Jesus was telling him to sacrifice kids, and he would go outside and strip naked and say that he was John the Apostle. So with all this, he got to the point where he would take his first victim, and it was a little boy. He strangled him, and he was going to butcher him, but he heard some sounds and got scared. there were two little boys that he seen, and one was 4 and one was 6. And they had it was 3 and 4. So the 3-year-old's older brother was there, and he would go on to say, when they asked him what happened, that the boogeyman took the 4-year-old. He would end up eating the 4-year-old. Then this young man that was just 18 wanted a job. So Albert, going by a different name, basically told him he would give him a job. He was going to kill him, but then when he seen how big he was, he turned his sights on the little sister. And the little sister, she was little, and her name was Gracie. He told the parents that he wanted to take her to a birthday party, and this was the 1920s, so it was a different time. So the parents, thinking that he was a good person, let him take the little girl, but the little girl would never come back. And the mom, she would be so distraught that anybody she seen, she would say they did it. He was getting away with all this for a while, but then a detective, his name was King, and he wanted some people to run an ad in the newspaper, because thinking that Albert would see it, that the killer would see it. So, which he did, he seen the article, and he would write Gracie's mom, and he would tell her what he did to the little girl. The thing though was that the mom couldn't read, so the son ended up reading it and going straight to the police. So after all this, they found out that who Albert was going by. They found out where his place was, where he had been staying. And when they went, the detective got him. But he tried to put up a fight, but he was so old and frail, he really couldn't. The detective got him pretty easy. He would be sentenced to death, and in 1936, he would be electrocuted by the electric chair. And that was the end of his story.